Hey, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all about how to glow from the inside out. And today we are talking my updated top 5 list of hydrating toners. Oh yeah, you know I love hydrating toners. I'm obsessed with them. My combination dehydrated skin benefits so much from them. Like I cannot live without a hydrating toner in my skincare routine. Today I am focusing in on hydrating, watery, replenishing toners, especially for thirsty skin. Now, I have not updated you on my top 5 list for many years, since 2021. It has been a hot second, and I will be honest with you, part of the reason why it's been so long is there's just not been that many changes. When I like something, I love it, and I am loyal to it. So there's definitely some classic goodies on here, but there's also some surprising changes as well. Some products that have creeped up into the top 5 slot. So if you're so ready, give the video a big thumbs up and let's jump in. Number 5, Kaine Kombu Balancing Ampoule Toner. Now, this is actually a newbie to my top 5 list, but since I tried this back in the summer of 2023, it really has been in my regular rotation of hydrating toners, and I've been through quite a few bottles of this since that time. And what really made me fall in love with it is definitely the amount of hydration that it brings to my skin, but also its ability to bring out a really healthy vibrancy to my complexion. It really makes my complexion glow, makes it look really bright and even toned and just really healthy. And that's what I really like about this. It's hydrating, but it also kind of brings up the quality of your skin as well and the quality of your glow. So hydrating wise, there's 1% of panthenol in here. This is one of my favorite humectant ingredients. It's very hydrating and very replenishing for skin. Now, I want to let you know if you're new to my channel or this is the first video you've ever seen from me, I just want to let you know I have dehydrated skin, and so my skin is incredibly thirsty. So I am very picky and very discerning about what I call hydrating and definitely what I call very hydrating, because my skin is so picky, it's so thirsty. Not just any old water, not just any old toner is going to replenish my skin at the deeper levels where the dehydration lies, right? So I just want to let you know that my bar for hydration is like annoyingly high. But what's particularly helpful about panthenol as an ingredient is that it actually helps to support your skin barrier by helping to stimulate the lipid production within skin. And lipids is what helps to make your skin barrier very strong. Now, your skin barrier is what holds hydration deep within your skin and resists dehydration, which is the escape, the loss of hydration through our skin barrier. So you want a really healthy, strong moisture barrier to resist dehydration. So if you have dehydrated skin, yes, you need hydration, but you also need to strengthen up that barrier. And that's exactly what panthenol does. So real goodie here. Now, the kombu in the name is actually kombucha, which is fermented black tea. Now, this ingredient is what's responsible for that really beautiful, healthy complexion that I was talking about before. Every time I use this toner, yes, my skin feels replenished. It feels satisfied. It feels hydrated and just a little bouncy and plump too, but it looks so good. And it's because of the tea. Now, tea just on its own is a really complex skincare ingredient that has a lot of antioxidants. There's lots of minerals. There's lots of vitamins. There's lots of amino acids and all different types of compounds that are very healthy for the skin and feed the health of the skin. Polyphenols that really help with your skin balance and your skin health. You get breakouts. Tea ingredients tend to be very good for that, to soothe the redness, the swelling, the inflammation, the angry look of your pimples. The antioxidants help to protect from things that cause premature aging on the skin. They just feed the health of the skin. And that's really the key. If you want your skin to glow, you can make it wet, you can make it glossy, you can make it oily, right? Shiny. But ultimately, the root of healthy, glowy skin is healthy skin. And when we feed our skin with all these micronutrients, these vitamins, the amino acids, when we hydrate it, that's what really brings out that healthiness to the complexion. It is a watery, hydrating toner, but you notice there's just a little bit of body, just a little bit of slip. That's the panthenol at play here, that little bit of bounce. But it sinks into the skin beautifully, deep down bursts into hydration, but it doesn't feel thick. It doesn't feel greasy on the skin, and it's definitely not tacky or sticky. It sinks in gorgeously. I usually do about 2 layers of this because my skin is so thirsty, right? 2 layers, and it doesn't build up thick or sticky. Just a really fantastic texture overall. So who is this toner for? I really think it is going to suit most skin types. As I mentioned earlier, I do have combination skin that's very dehydrated. Now, sometimes it can lean oily in hot weather, and it can lean quite dry in winter months. And I personally find myself gravitating towards this in the spring and in the summer months because it provides so much hydration in such a nice light format. And so it really is perfect for summer routines, especially because it's not just hydrating my skin, it's plumping my skin, and it's bringing the antioxidants, it's bringing the fermented tea, it's helping to really bring out the vibrancy of my complexion. So it almost kind of like acts like an essence product as well as a toner product. And sometimes when I'm really feeling like it's so hot, it's so humid, I don't want to put lots and lots of layers on my skin. Sometimes I even skip out on serum when I use this too. I don't feel like I'm missing out on benefits by skipping steps by using this. This is totally like, what was that old term we used a couple of years ago? Skip care. This is totally a product like that. It brings a lot of benefits beyond just hydration to the skin. Number 4, Round Lab 1025 Dokdo Toner. Now, this toner is very straightforward. It's very simple, very minimal ingredients. And some people would label this toner boring. And I say it's boring. Simpleness is its superpower. I love that about this toner. So straightforward, so to the point. I think that that's a goodie because you know what? At the end of the day, I do like toners that have some additional benefits. They can really add to your routine. But at the end of the day, with dehydrated skin, I really have high expectations for a toner to hydrate my skin and only hydrate my skin. And this does it beautifully. So ingredients wise, very, very simple here in the ingredients list. I think if you have sensitive skin and you are looking for products that don't use a lot of plant extracts, which can sometimes pose issues for sensitive individuals, this might be a good one to look for. So again, there is some power in the simplicity of this formula. One thing I do like to talk about with this toner, because I feel like everybody talks about the marketing point that they use on this toner for its gentle exfoliation abilities. And I see that a lot, especially on TikTok. They're like, oh, this like kind of gently exfoliates your skin. It does not. Okay. And I'm just saying that from personal experience of using this particular product. There really is no exfoliation benefit, at least not a very big one. And the reason why I'm very passionate about sharing that is because I am personally so sensitive to exfoliation in my skincare routine. And so this product just doesn't have that type of effect on my skin at all. It's not like chemical exfoliation. But what this toner does well is it hydrates the skin in a really good texture that I call a universal texture, something that will work for pretty much every skin type because it's pure water. It's so watery. There's no slip. There's no bounce, there's no body, there's no plumping to this. It really is just water. So if you have very oily skin that just can't tolerate thick layers of skincare, even the little bit of slip or even a little bit of like a gel-like consistency can feel so heavy on your skin. This will just sink into your skin without any weight. It's like, it's weightless on the skin, and you can layer this up multiple times. Now, if you like a 7 skin method, which is where you take a hydrating, watery type of toner and you layer it onto your skin. Now, traditionally it would be in 7 layers, 7 skin method, right? But it's really up to 7 layers. You don't have to go all the way up to 7. You can do, 3 or 4 or 5 or 7 if you want to. But if you do like to layer your toner up multiple times, but you're sensitive to texture starting to build up thick on your specific skin type, this is perfect for multiple layering without any type of weight on the skin. And it really dives deep and it feels incredibly replenishing. It just doesn't have any weight weight to it. So another great one that I also gravitate towards in hot weather, because where I live can get quite humid. And while I have combination skin, I do produce quite a bit of oil in that T-zone. I don't want to overload that area with lots of layers of thick skincare, right? Or even, the types of toners that can get kind of tacky once you put on, 2-3 layers. So this is perfect for that method. Perfect, I honestly think, for a majority of skin type. Number 3, Cerave Hydrating Toner. Now this one is a little bit different than the 4 other products that I'm talking about today, because it's not a K-beauty brand, right? Everything else I'm going to talk about is from K-beauty, and that is for a reason. Korean skincare just does hydrating toners better than anybody else. Period. The end. End of discussion. They just do them better. Now, in my over a decade of experience with K-beauty, I've been into K-beauty for a long time. I know I'm aging myself by saying that, but it is true. Back then when I first started getting into K-beauty in like 2012, really the only place that you could get a hydrating toner was in Korean skincare, because all the other toners in, Western skincare, I'm in the United States. So in the United States, you go shopping for skincare, and the only type of toner you could find is astringent toners, toners that control oil, or toners that are particularly for acne prone skin with like salicylic acid or benzoyl peroxide in them, right? So that's not really a hydrating toner. That's just like a different kind of flavor of toner, and those can be beneficial, but that's not what I'm looking for, right? So K-beauty's been doing it for a lot longer and a lot better than everybody else. I just feel like every other genre and every other country, right, of skincare is just like scrambling to catch up to K-beauty, especially in this category of skincare product. And so CeraVe came out with this hydrating toner, I want to say in 2022, and I saw it on the shelf at Ulta around the time it first launched, and I was like, I like CeraVe, but I'm like very skeptical that this like US drugstore brand could do a hydrating toner to my level. You know what I mean? Because like I told you, I have a very high bar for hydrating toners. And so I was like, I don't know, I'm buying this. I'll buy it for the content, right? For the video I'll make out of it, but I don't think I'm going to like this. And I was wrong, pleasantly so. I was wrong. This is a really great, solid hydrating toner. And I will be honest with you, part of the reason why it made a top 5 for me personally is because it is so available for me. Like I said, I can just go down to my drugstore and just buy it. Where with a lot of our K-beauty products, we are importing them, right? We're ordering from overseas and waiting a while for it to come to us. And I will say that's never been an issue for me. I've been into K-beauty for so long now, like just never been an issue until the pandemic, right, in 2020. And we did have that like those months where ordering from overseas was just not really feasible. It just stuff that just was not coming to us in a practical amount of time. And so I definitely changed my habits since then, just like everybody has, I think. And I definitely have been leaning a little bit more. I've created a little bit more space in my routine for products that I can go down to the store and buy, right? Rather than products that I do have to order from overseas online. So this is, for me personally, why I keep going back to this one. I think it's a solidly hydrating toner, but it's also just like there, you know what I mean? And it's available and it's convenient for me personally. And there's a lot to be said about that type of skincare too, right? So anyways, this is a really great hydrating toner that's particularly good for supporting your skin barrier, in my personal opinion. And as I told you earlier, if your skin is thirsty, if you need to hydrate your skin, yes, watery skincare with lots of humectants are great, but you also need to work on strengthening your skin barrier to hold all that replenishing hydration deep within your skin so that it lasts and it doesn't escape and create that dehydrated feeling on our skin. And so there's some barrier supportive ingredients in here: ceramide MP, niacinamide, which helps to support your skin barrier, along with a whole host of humectants that rehydrate and replenish the skin. It's got a really beautiful, very watery, quickly absorbed type of texture, just a tiny bit of slip, just a tiny bit of plumpness, but still, I think going to be very suitable for pretty much every skin type. I don't find this to be sticky or tacky, even when I layer it up a couple of times, which I just love to do. And so everything I talk about, is not building up thick on my particular skin. I think this would be great for oily skin. I think you'll like this. Combination skin, I think for sure. This hits that sweet spot for you. I think dry skin will like this too. Number 2, Numbuzin No. 1 Pure Full Calming Herb Toner. Now, the special power of this particular toner is its ability to deeply hydrate the skin, replenish dehydrated skin, but also help with acne prone skin because there's a complex of extracts in here that are particularly good for bringing down inflammation, redness, and that provide antibacterial benefits for acne prone skin. So the herb complex here, and that's what the word herb is referring to the extracts here. They're using a 28% of Hutainia cordata extract, which is also known as heart leaf extract in K-beauty. Now, heart leaf is one of my favorite ingredients for soothing acne on sensitive skin. And it's actually something I've loved for many years, and it's just started to pick up in popularity. And I'm so excited about that because it's such a beneficial ingredient. It's anti-inflammatory, it's antibacterial, it brings down redness, and just really helps to soothe the skin overall without being a heavy type of ingredient. So it's really beneficial, like I said, for acne prone skin. They're also combining that with centella. Now, centella is so amazing for soothing the skin, right? Not only does it bring down inflammation and redness, but if your skin feels irritated, right, it helps to bring down that sensation on the skin, as well as being hydrating and bringing some great benefits to the skin for skin health. And then they're also using licorice extract at about 25%. Now, this is a strong, soothing ingredient that really brings down inflammation in the skin, brings down irritation in the skin, and may provide some brightening. I think in this format, it's probably not going to bring as much brightening to the skin, but if you have a lot of redness on your skin, whether it be from acne or maybe something else, this can be very helpful for just bringing down inflammation. And I do go through bouts of a little bit of inflammation from sensitivity. I do have sensitive skin, so something's just not quite right with my skin or with my skin barrier. I can definitely see a little bit more redness manifest on my skin. And then, of course, if I get pimples, they can be quite inflamed as well. And so this toner, very hydrating, very replenishing, but also takes down redness in a really nice way. The complex here of the extracts, very strong anti-inflammatory benefit for the skin. It has a very, very thin, watery texture. And that's why the very first time I tested this out, I was like, I don't think this is going to be enough for my skin because, like I said, I'm so freaking picky, like to an annoying extent. I'm so picky. I'm like, it's just not quite hydrating enough. And this texture made me suspicious that it wasn't going to really provide long lasting hydration, if you know what I mean. Because when you have dehydrated skin, you put toner on your face in the morning, say, right? And you're like, hey, it feels good now. But then like 2 o'clock in the afternoon rolls around and you're like, my skin is starting to feel like it's shriveling and getting really dry and tight and dehydrated deep within it. Just like it's not lasting on my skin. So I was like, I have a feeling this is just not going to be enough. Like it's just not going to get deep down in there and stay there all day long. Well, I was really shocked. It actually does provide long-lasting hydration in this thin, lightweight, watery texture. No bounce, no slipperiness, no plumpness to this. This feels just pure like water, just like that Dokdo toner does. Very, very pure, watery type of texture. Sinks deep into the skin though, and really stays there and feels so, so hydrating. You know, I will say with this complex of extracts and really the benefits that it provides, this is an ideal toner for oily skin, in my personal opinion, because it's so lightweight in the texture, but still so deeply hydrating without weight. It's so breathable. I really, really like this toner more so for the warmer months. I've gone through many, many bottles of this and I've been so, so happy with it. And I will say, I will share with you, I was using this this winter back in December, and I did like it, but once it started to get very, very cold and my skin got very, very dry, I was a little less happy with this than I've been in the past using this the 9 other months of the year that aren't winter where I live. And I think it's just because there's just the tiniest bit of benefit for skin that overproduces oil. And at that point in winter, my T-zone, it's oily, but it doesn't need any oil control. Let me just put it that way, right? But in the summer, a little bit of that, so helpful. Even in the fall and spring, a little hint of that can be very beneficial for my skin type, my combination skin type. So just having tested this over, how many bottles have I emptied now? Because if you've been here with me for a while and you watch my empties videos, you've seen this me go through quite a few bottles of this, right? It has suited me almost every other season of the year. I've been so incredibly happy with this. So I think my main recommendation for this one is definitely oily skin, combination skin, acne prone skin. And number one, drum roll please, it is, can you guess? Make Prem Relief Essence Toner. Of course it is. If you've been watching my channel for the last, 5 years, you know it's this toner. It's always been this toner. I feel like it's always going to be this toner. It's going to take a lot to knock this one from the top number one spot in my heart. So I absolutely love this because it is so freaking hydrating. Let me say, anytime I talk about this toner, I will often get comments, right? You will ask me, well, how does X toner compare to Make Prem? And there's just never a comparison. There is nothing in my personal experience, in my mind, there's nothing that is more hydrating than this toner. There is something very, very special about this particular toner. And even after almost 5 years, I'm still not entirely sure what it is. There's something about the mix of the ingredients and the texture of this that just gets deeper down than any other toner that I've talked about in today's video, that sinks way deeper into my skin, that really gets down to the source of the dehydration, that bursts into hydration, that creates like a sensation of filling every little dehydrated spot within my skin with long-lasting hydration without feeling heavy or sticky. It's a tall order, and this just does it, and it just does it so well. And the ingredients are so minimal. You look at it and you're just like, how? Why? It doesn't seem like there's anything very special about this particular one. But honestly, just the combination of the humectants in here, the combination of the texture, which it's very watery. You'll see it just like runs down your skin, and it absorbs very quickly. But when you really feel this, when you really look a little closer, you notice that there is just a little bit of a full fat water situation, as my friend James Welsh would say, right? It's more than just water. There's still a fullness to this that you can feel between your fingers, and you can kind of detect when you look at the texture and how it kind of runs on your skin, right? It's not super duper thin, but it's not gel like either, and it's not even necessarily plumping in like that kind of like bouncy type of way. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very watery, but there's something special and magical that just bursts into hydration once you get it onto your skin. And you can layer this onto your skin multiple times without it getting tacky or sticky. But quite honestly, some of these other toners, like when I'm really dehydrated and my skin's really going through it, I might go 3 layers. This one layer, 2 layers is always enough. It is just so replenishing. I know I've used that word a lot throughout this video, but if I could only use it for one toner, this is the ultimate replenishing toner. I love this so, so much. It gets enough hype on my channel. Like if you watch my channel, you know how much I love this, but it always like astonishes me how much this has not like blown up in popularity. You know what I mean? It's very much a if you know type of skincare product, but like if you know why it's my number one. I cannot live without this product. Long overdue, but I hope you enjoyed that updated list of my top 5 hydrating toners. Now, if you loved this video and you want to see more from me, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Come join our skincare community, especially if you love K-beauty, sensitive skincare, hydrating toners. That's what my channel is all about. And I'm curious, what are your favorite hydrating toners? Let us all know in the comments. And while you're in the comments, don't forget to check out that pinned comment with the Milky Toner video, as well as the top 5 essences updated for 2025 video. And let me know if you want me to keep rolling with my top 5 lists. I love you so much. Thanks for being here with me today. And I just want to encourage you to keep shining your light. I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye.